2016. Last week, Patrick gave a beautiful service about don't forget who you are, don't think about it now. Does anybody remember that? Don't think about it now, you're where you are, go forward. You're here for a reason, go forward. So we are talking in 2016 about reclaiming and recreating, to resurrect and redirect. So we're going to talk a lot about this year about pulling our energy back to center so that we can go forward. I know a lot of you think this is a crazy time to do it because Mercury's retrograde, but it's retrograde in Capricorn, so it's a perfect time to make a plan so we can start getting our brains all organized to plan what we want to do next. All right. Every dramatic change is created from something within you. So I would ask, if you are willing, you don't have to do this, but if you are willing, I would ask those of you who have consciously made a decision to change your life and consciously made that change, would you be willing to stand? Within each of you is the pattern of having accomplished. It's the pattern of saying, I will do something different, and I will do it until it happens. Within you there is tenacity and strength. And everyone, I want you to just breathe it in. There is a pattern of having accomplished. And I want you to repeat after me, or speak with me. I have moved mountains.
I have moved mountains.
Can you feel it?
Yes.
All right, you can sit down. Now I would like to talk to everyone in the room who wants to dramatically change their life in 2016. Perhaps you're looking at something that is no longer working. Perhaps you know your spirit is calling you to another path or another expression. I would invite you, if you are willing, to stand. I'm standing. And I want you to breathe in the tenacity. And I want you to be aware there are a lot of those that have already accomplished are standing again. Breathe it in. I know I can. I want you to say, I can move mountains.
I can move mountains.
And I want you to look at someone who's standing and say, you can move mountains.
You can move mountains.
All right, breathe in the strength and tenacity. How does that feel? Did you feel the heighten? Some of us are plateauing and we don't need to move a mountain, but some of us are being called now to dramatically change who we are, to dramatically become different. And that difference is something that's coming from within us. It's not something that someone's telling us to do, it's something inside trying to speak. What we just did was we just took an inventory of our assets. We know what we can do. If we can remember what we can do, if we can call on the energy of others who have gone before us, we can pull that energy and that becomes an asset for us, to give us the strength when we are weary, to give us the tenacity when we don't know the next step. So we can actually begin to become that change that we want to be. All right. Any plan of forward motion typically begins with a cleanse, which is what we're talking about today, ending the cleanse. Any plan of forward motion typically begins with a cleanse. We look at where we want to be and we will look at what is not working. And then we turn to what is not working and we try to eliminate. Right? And most of you can understand dieting. Many of you, maybe, have known someone who diets. And the first thing that you do with a diet is you look at what you cannot have. Okay, I'm eliminating this and this and this and this and this. And we go, okay, I can't have sugar, cookies, brownies. Okay, so okay. And that's how we begin our diet, focused on what we cannot have. We do not look and go, I get to eat celery and tomatoes and lettuce. Yay! That's not how we approach our diet. We look at what we need to eliminate, what we cannot have. And that creates a cleanse. We're focusing on what is not working and seeking to eliminate it. That creates a cleanse. Has everybody ever been in a cleanse? And it cleanses and it cleanses and it cleanses. And how deep does it go and when does it stop? There's no bottom to a cleanse. It just keeps going and going and going until something within you says, I can't do this anymore. And then you flip back to the same list you've been focusing on. You've been focusing on no sugar, no cookies, no brownies, so that's still in your focus. And what do? Sugars, brownies, come on, bring them. Make them gluten-free. Bring them to me. Because our focus never shifted to where we want to go. Do you all see? All right. Forward motion is always life change based. Forward motion is always a change of life. And life change is always about being self-defined and self-determined. So, when we focus on what we want, what we focus on grows. So if we focus on what we don't want, that grows. If we focus on what we do want, that grows. So, if you focus on what you do not want, and it grows, you enter into an immediate struggle with it. I don't want you, 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 now I'm going to fight you. Because I'm struggling now with it. Anybody struggle to lose weight? I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you. So focusing on what the cleanse creates struggle in our lives. Some of you focus on your jobs, struggling with your jobs, and it gets bigger, bigger, bigger. All right. I know that I sound pretty good, like a self-help person. That's pretty good self-help talk, wasn't it? Come on, guys. Let's do this thing. Any life change that you ever make, in reality, is always governed by your spirit. You really can't mentally do this. You really can't mentally force yourself to go one way or the other. But if you can awaken the spirit within you, and that spirit can become the central focus, life change is possible. Do I make sense? When spirit is the focus, what are we focusing on? What is expanding? It's not the I shall not or I shall. It's the I am. When your spirit is strong. All right. Everyone who stood up was awake to a dream. Everyone who stood up the first time was awake to a dream they accomplished. Everyone who stood up the second time was awake to a dream they want to accomplish. And where is that dream coming from? From within. It's coming from within you. All right. Your spirit is alive, it's awake, and it's asking you to look at life differently. In our world, we are taught that we can definitely feel our spirit here. Come to church, feel God, love each other. That's great. Let's have a good time. Now when we go out into the world, we are to become politically correct. Don't say what you believe. There are things you need to do. We need to take that world that we move into, that we did not create, and we need to act accordingly so we do not ruffle feathers. Do you hear what I'm saying? Okay. When you do that, do you realize what you're doing to your spirit? You're denying it. I need to go to church because there I can breathe and be myself. When I'm in the world, I can't. When I'm here, I can. So, how progressive are you going to be in changing your world when you dim your spirit, when you go into the world? Can you feel with me? Why do we do this? Why is the world such a delicate situation that we cannot speak our truth? I have an ancient story I've shared with you once before. I was in my 20s. I was raised in a home where there was astrology and reincarnation and Edgar Cayce and Ruth Montgomery and numerology. And I mean, that was just what I was raised on. And we were Baptist. And we actually lived in Las Vegas for 3 years, and 2 of those years there was a Baptist church down the road where I could literally go every Sunday. Do you know I was the first one there every Sunday? Me in my little ragtaggly clothes, little ragtaggly kid. I was the first. I beat the preacher in this family. And I'd be waiting for him Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. I loved it. And I would say to my mom, you know, they don't talk about blah, blah, blah. And she'd say, don't mention it. You keep your mouth shut and don't say anything, because that's not their job. They're just to talk about God, and you can believe all this other stuff privately. Well, it came to a point when I was in my early 20s, and I was in and out of church. I did a lot of Baptist church hopping. And I found a little Baptist church. I was probably 23. And I started going there, and I started teaching the youth, because they didn't have anybody with enough tenacity to teach the youth. So I took on the GA program, and there was no one to teach the boys, so they came into the girls' class. I had a great time. Every Wednesday night, I had a packed house. A bunch of little kids. I did it for a year, until I could not do it anymore. My heart hurt. So I went to the minister's wife, and I said, you know, I can't do this anymore. I don't believe what you're teaching them. I believe the principle, and their principles were Jesus was Son of God and freedom of interpretation of the Scriptures. Those are the only two tenets of the Baptist Church, believe it or not. I believe those two tenets. But I also believe I'm a son of God. I also believe in reincarnation. I'm talking to the preacher's wife. I believe in reincarnation. I do astrology. I believe in all these things. And she goes, I do too. She did. And I said, but why can't we talk about it? And she said, we can't. And I said, I can't teach anymore. Because I need to go where I can speak. I need to be me, I need to be me, I need to be me. I was quite the tenacious little child. And she loved me, hated to lose me, because nobody else was going to step up and teach those kids. But I had to go. And it was years, it was 10 years, or almost 10 years, before I found a place where I could speak my truth and be my truth. In a church. Now how about being your truth in the world? Historically, the Christian faith is wrought with persecution. Are you aware of that? From the get-go, they were a sect of the Jewish faith, and there was persecution from the Jewish faith, and there was persecution from the Romans to the Jews, and all this persecution was going on. And so when the Christian faith finally got to be some sort of okay, they started persecuting each other. Then they started persecuting the people that pulled away. And there's just been this tumultuous thing, well, you're Episcopalian? I don't think so. My way is the way to God, your way is not. And this energy of struggle between even our own inner faith is in ourselves. It's in ourselves. So you know what we do? We fight or we hide. We get on a soapbox, we tell the world what we believe, and they better believe like we do. Or we hide. Or we go into hiding. We take our spirit, we take it deep within us. Do y'all understand? Do you do this? Do you ever pontificate when someone's talking religion? Well, let me get my soapbox out here. I'll crawl on top of it and I'm going to tell you what's up. But the next day when I see you, I'm not going to say anything because we're not talking religion, so I'm going to hide who I am. We had a beautiful opportunity in 2011 to go to Turkey, and I loved it. I highly recommend it. It's fabulous. And they took us to a place in Cappadocia, which is kind of mid-Turkey. All right, we went to Cappadocia where they have all these underground cities. Have you ever seen it? They dig in the ground, and there's room here, and you go down here, there's air shaft, and it's amazing how deep it goes. Cultures live down there, and the early Christians lived down there for protection. For protection. And when you go down there, they have these huge circular wheeled rocks that they would wheel into the opening so no one could get in. If they found an opening, they could block it. It was huge and amazing. We had such a great time. We're taking pictures. Every picture has orbs in it. The place was haunted to the max. And so we went, and we stopped it, the group was pretty much together at this point. We stopped in one room, and someone said, let's do some chanting. I don't recall exactly who it was. We were sitting there, and we're chanting, God, and we're just chanting and chanting. And it's just vibrating through the whole place. And our guide says, do you know you're in the graveyard? Oh. And we went, yay! We're in the graveyard. She didn't realize how many dead people were still there. When we finally made our way out, the place was packed with people. Packed with people wanting to know who are these people making such a ruckus, calling forth God energy. It was packed because they were still in hiding. They went into the underground city and they would die there. And they would never leave. When it was time for them to go home to God, they didn't go home to God. They were hiding still in this place. Wow, isn't that powerful? So when I came to the surface, I grabbed whoever was near me. I can't even tell you who it was, or 3 or 4 of us. I grabbed hands and said, we got to do some work. And we prayed for those souls that they knew they had an opportunity to go home. You don't have to, but you can. And so we asked, we stirred them up, I mean, seriously. So we asked that God's love show them how they could go home to God and move on and not stay in their hiding. And it made me wonder, how many lifetimes do we stay in our hiding? Why are we not okay in taking everything that we say out into the world? Why are we not okay? Our faith should ooze from every cell of our body. We don't have to be preaching at people. Our faith isn't about converting. We honor people's faith. Whatever you choose to believe in is great. We don't need to convert you. But I need to own what I believe. So what I believe about God and about life and about love and about equality and brotherhood and mankind should ooze through my cells. When I walk into Target, people should go, ah, Crescent Beam just walked in. I feel her now. The force is stronger. Don't you think? Yes. Yes. And when there's a little occurrence that would make you go, oh wait, no, that's that world. My world says everything's going to be okay, everything will right itself, so even though this appears to be uncomfortable, it's going to right itself. Okay, great. I'm going to move through. I'm going to let what I believe pour out into the world. Are you guys hearing me? When we come together as a group, you could take any number of us, any segment of us, put us in the world somewhere. And that, wherever we are, is going to be shiny, laughing, people are going to be happy, people are going to walk by going, who are those people? Together, we're dynamic. People feel us. We need to be individually as impactful. We need to be, not to change them, to free ourselves. To free ourselves so that we can be us. Be us. We want to be better. We want to take that step. We want to become something greater in 2016. Focusing on me is the first thing I can do. And not dimming that light when I go forward. To end the cleanse, you have to have your focus on something else, and it cannot be the opposite. To end the cleanse, our focus has to go on something that's eternal. Us. That deep, deep, deep space of us. Is everybody hearing me? All right. So many examples of having to dim our light. When Spirit was working with me on trying to give me clarity, they said, the angels were talking, and they said something like this: sometimes forward motion isn't really about a step. Sometimes it's just the shift of focus. And then they showed me how, you know, the gymnasts, and this is just for me, but I'll share with you. The gymnasts, they get on the bars, they'll work the bars, and they'll work the rings, and I mean, they're doing amazing stuff. Are they not? Little girls, guys, and they're just doing all this great stuff, and you hear the commentators going, yeah, that's good, that's good, that's good. Oh, can they stick the landing? They're busting their butt already. They have done so many miraculous things, and it hangs on sticking a landing? Okay, good, good. So they wheel, they jump, and they boom. And sometimes they step back, and sometimes they wiggle, sometimes they stick it, but what do they always do? Ta-da! Always. I did it. I did it. In that moment, when they're celebrating them, this is where we need to start this year. We need to start with our hands in the air. I did it. Whatever I've been doing, whatever gyrations I've been working on, whatever thing I've been doing in my life, whatever gymnastic marvels I've been creating. Right now I stand, wobbly landing, sticking it perfectly, it doesn't matter. My hands are in the air, and I'm celebrating me. If I can stand there, I can see here. And if I can see here, I don't look back. I don't worry about, did I wobble, did I do not do it perfectly, have I messed up? Yeah, okay. You messed up. Say, I messed up.
More than once.
That's not a question. We always choose things that our higher self wouldn't choose for us. We choose again. You've also been perfect, haven't you? Say, I've been perfect.
I've been perfect.
All right. So we're going to now go forward. You don't have to look back. You didn't mess up and you have been perfect. Good. Stick it, hands in the air. Now I am ready to go forward. Now I'm ready. We need to actually take this moment before we move into I let go and lift up. Remember, that's our motto for this year. We're going to let go and lift up. We're going to let go and lift up. That's motion. Let's be here first. Arch your back. Do it full. And celebrate where you are here and let your focus shift. Love, harmony, right action. Let go, lift up. This is what we're going to focus on all year. Love, harmony, right action. Let go, lift up. All of these things I'm saying, love, harmony, right action, requires your inner self to move. Let go, lift up requires your inner self to do something. Being in your landing requires you just to be for a minute so your focus can shift. You guys hear me? Do you see how easy your year can be in movement if you can do this? All right. All right, well, let's do our meditation just to anchor this in. So if you put your feet on the floor. I want you to just imagine a beautiful column of light coming over you. And in your mind's eye, just see yourself throwing your hands up in the air, arching your back, and just being so proud of you. Say yes when you can see it.
Yes.
Awesome. Feel that energy of you. I have accomplished so much, and I'm standing in my I am. And let your focus now go to that heart within you. That deep, deep energy within you. I am child of God. God love flows through me now. I may not know through my human eyes, but I know through my divine heart. I know through my divine heart. And I want you to feel a beautiful wave of God love just beginning to pour through you right where you are. God meeting you right where you are. And feel that light and love engulfing you. Feeling you to overflow. I see. I am. And all else is added to me. I see. I am. And all else is added to me. Feel a rich, deep love flowing through you out into this beautiful column of light, and feel the safety of being. I let my light shine in the world. So I can create my world. Feel the beautiful love. There's nothing but love. Feel your angels with you. Feel the beautiful universal support. Jesus Christ is always there. Divine wisdom is always there. Today, it is okay to be me. have flown to the river. And God, we thank you that you are with us always. You can gently open your eyes. How did you feel? And the cleanse? Shift the focus. Be mindful. We've set into motion your core. As you go about this week and you see the I shall not list, click, click. What do you do if you see the I shall not list? Go to core. Go back to core. Don't go I shall. Come back to core. And sit in that beautiful potential of you. And then you will know when to begin to let go and to lift up. Then you'll know. Say yay, God.
Yay.